Hello, brilliant jewelry community. This is Blender 5.2. Today we're going to create a leather bracelet, much like this one. Let's get started. The screencast keys don't work in Blender 5, but don't worry. Add mesh plane. Let's call this woven element 0.001. Okay, so let's talk about scale. If you do 3D printing using Blender, you know that 1 meter in Blender is equivalent to 1 millimeter in real life. I never change the configuration of the metric system in Blender. It's super simple and it doesn't need to be changed. So 3 millimeters here, it means that I need to scale the image to make the woven element 3 millimeters wide. Now let's go to edit mode, press the M key, merge at center. Now we're going to grab the vertex with G and we're going to extrude the E key each time and we're going to follow our pretty leather element. Now I'm going to select everything with A to have a good look at what I traced. And I'm going to add just a couple of vertices here in this corner. And we're going to make a copy with Shift D and we're going to rotate with R 180 degrees. Now we're going to make a local view with the diagonal key on the numpad and we're going to match this here. And now we're going to grab these vertices here and there and we're going to close here with F. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Now press A to select everything. Now let's go to Face Grid Fill. If you get a message about edges and blah blah blah, it means that we need an even number of vertices. So select a couple of vertices, press W to get the menu and subdivide. So now here I'm going to select this vertex and then select everything with A. Great. Now go to the Face menu and select Grid Fill. Now the Grid Fill sets the span for you. You can change it. Maybe you will like another span better. Then you can also work on the offset. So for me, this topology here, this distribution of vertices is better. Now we're going to go to global coordinates and bring everything to 0 to center our element. Let's exit edit mode, the tab key on your pretty keyboard. And now let's do a Control A, all transforms. So applying the transformations in Blender, that's always very surprising for many beginners or users from other softwares. You will get used to it someday. It takes some time to understand the logic behind applying the transformation. But at the beginning, just do what the master says. Now save, Control S, and be happy. Now let's add a solidify modifier. Let's go at 0.8 millimeters. Then let's add a bevel modifier and a subdivision surface modifier. Let's go level 3. In edit mode, now you can see this and that vertex making a corner. Let's scale on the y-axis to soften these details. Then let's add a simple deform modifier. We're going to bend, but to bend properly, let's add a mesh cube at 0 location, 90 degrees rotation on the x-axis. Select the cube for the origin. Now let's bend minus 45 degrees on the x-axis. Then let's duplicate the modifier and then let's bend on the z-axis. Save and be happy. Now let's go to the side view, numpad number 3. Add a curve Bezier circle to the view at 0 location. In the data for the object, resolution 45. Now let's make it 12 millimeters wide and 8 millimeters thick. This will be a path for the first axis. Don't forget to do a Control A and apply all the transforms. Then select our first woven element Let's add an array modifier. Let's make the offset on the y-axis. And now let's add the curve modifier. So the curve is the path. Now we have to find the proper direction. When you can't find the proper axis, go back to the x-axis. Then select the path and go to edit mode. Check that the mean radius on all the vertices is set to 1. And then for the array modifier, let's work on another axis. We will be working on the x-axis for the offset of the array. The elements are going in the correct direction. And we can see that our elements are facing the wrong orientation. Select the Bezier path and go to edit mode. All the vertices are selected, so you can go to segment and switch direction. Now we need to center the elements around the path. So if you check the array and the data, you can see that the first element is the one on the left. What we can do is use the offset method, and here we can see very exactly the amount to have a perfect distance. Then also, if you want to move the position above the path, go to edit mode, turn on the edit mode option on the curve modifier so you see the end result, and move all the vertices on the z-axis, more or less. Then keep readapting the scale and proportion as needed. Then we're going to add yet another array modifier. First, we're going to introduce a count of 5, and we're going to use the default settings of the array. Now, before we make the second alternating element, we can develop our design a bit more. Let's go to edit mode and let's select the outline only the vertices around. Now let's extrude the outline on the z-axis. Let's go at minus 1.35 millimeter for the thickness of this extrusion. And now we're going to make a copy of all of this, Shift D, and this will be the woven element number 2. And now obviously we need to tweak and adapt this second element to fill the remaining gaps. But if you grab it on the x-axis and move it, things are not going as we want at all. And remember that it's mainly because we have a cube setting the origin of the deformation modifiers. We need to make a copy of this cube. This will be cube number 2. And on the second element, for the simple deform modifier, the origin will be the second cube. Now remember, we have 2 simple deform modifiers and also adapt to the second cube here. Now we have the second element selected, select also the cube, and now we can move. But we need to move on the y-axis. Let's move exactly 3 millimeters. Now select the mesh and let's go to edit mode. What we need to do is adapt the orientation. So let's rotate on the z-axis by minus 90 degrees. Exit edit mode, save and be happy. Now we need to tweak the position of the alternating element on the path to fill the gaps. So to do that, select the second cube and the second woven element again, and we are going to move on the x-axis. Good enough to start somewhere. We can see that the distance of basically what seems to be the amounts for the array are not working for our second element. So on the second element, on the second array, the offset on the x-axis, let's tweak this. So here you can play with the distance. And here, thanks to the geometry, we can very precisely see if our amount is exact or not. Also, check on the inside. But now what we need to do is to be continued. Take care and see you soon.